Hey guys, tonight we're talking about one of history's strangest day jobs. The executioner. The man with the axe, the hood, and the reputation no one really wanted to sit next to at dinner. But here's the thing. Executions didn't actually happen that often. Even in bloody medieval Europe, most towns weren't chopping off heads every week, which meant cities still had to find ways to keep their executioner busy. After all, if you're paying him, he might as well do something besides stand around sharpening his sword. So, what did executioners actually do with the rest of their time? Well, quite a lot. The most common side hustle was butchery. If you're good at cutting up people, you're probably good at cutting up pigs. That was the logic anyway. Executioners were often licensed as butchers, selling meat in the marketplace. It was cheap, but not exactly popular. People knew exactly where those knives had been the day before. Still, in a world where meat was meat, many people held their nose and bought it anyway. Next, executioners often became the guys in charge of animal carcasses. If a horse died in the street, someone had to drag it out of the way, chop it up, and haul it beyond the city walls. Not exactly glamorous work. But since the executioner was already tainted by death, people figured he could handle it. He and his helpers became unofficial sanitation crews, hauling carcasses, cleaning cesspits, and even dealing with waste. Yes, the same man who could legally put you on the gallows might also be ankle-deep in sewage the next morning. Medieval multitasking at its finest. But here's the surprising twist. Many executioners doubled as healers. They weren't trained doctors, but they had practical knowledge of anatomy. They'd seen the inside of more bodies than anyone else in town. So if you broke a bone or had a nasty infection, people often slipped quietly to the executioner's house for treatment. They set bones, made ointments, and in some cases became better trusted than licensed physicians, which is ironic. Feared as killers, yet relied on as healers. And then there was the weirdest side business of all, selling body parts. In medieval medicine, the blood of an executed criminal was thought to cure epilepsy. People would literally rush to the scaffold with cups, hoping to drink it warm. Executioners often sold pieces of rope from hangings, ashes from burned bodies, even human fat, all as supposed remedies. So yes, he was both your town butcher and your black market pharmacist. Some executioners even became famous for this double life. Take Franz Schmidt of Nuremberg in the 1500s. He executed hundreds of people, but he also treated thousands of patients. By the end of his life, he was respected more as a doctor than as an executioner. Not exactly the career path he probably imagined as a kid, but it worked. So when you picture a medieval executioner, don't just imagine the hooded man with an axe. Imagine him also hauling dead horses through the mud, chopping up pork for the market, setting your broken arm on weekends, and maybe selling you a nice fresh vial of criminal blood as a cure. Feared, avoided, but always needed. The executioner was never just one job. He was a butcher, a cleaner, a healer, and yes, sometimes a pharmacist you really didn't want to think about too hard. And that, friends, is the strange side hustle life of history's executioners.